guests, co-stars on the hit ABC series Ugly Betty. Please welcome Becki Newton. Looks fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And me?
Amazing.
All right, then. Not nearly as good. Thanks for being here. I know you work on the show in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Came here to New York to come see us. And it must be nice to come back to New York, because I'm told this is where you had a very romantic encounter. You met your husband on the subway in New York, is that right? Or waiting for a subway?
No, I met him actually on the subway platform in New York. In Times Square at rush hour. Okay. People think I'm lying, but I'm not.
How did this happen? Because it sounds like something in a movie, and you'd be watching the movie and saying that never happens, but this happened.
No, this did. I was walking underground from the ACE to the 19, and he was walking the other way. And we walked by each other, and I looked up, and much like you're looking at me right now, our eyes met, and we both started laughing.
So he was about to pass out as well. Yeah.
And we walked by each other, and something made me turn around, and I looked over my shoulder, and he happened to be looking again as well. So we did that thing.
So you were caught noticing each other.
Right, we were caught once noticing each other, kept going, caught again noticing each other.
Okay.
At which point I started laughing because that's funny. I was busted.
Right.
And I just kept going, and I thought, wow. And about 30 seconds later, I got a tap on my shoulder, and it was him. And he said, "Excuse me, I think I might be lost." It was good. It was
very
really
nice.
Good.
And what did you say to that?
I said, "I don't think you're lost, honey." And he goes, "Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You look lost."
Right.
And I said, "No." And he said, "Let's figure this out together. This is a very confusing area." It turned out he lived a block away, but it all worked. I mean,
this is good. I give him a lot of credit for doing that. Because all through the 80s, I used to wander the subways, tapping women on the shoulder, saying, "I'm lost. I'm lost." And I was beaten severely. It never worked, but it did work for you and for him. That's nice. And what was he doing at the time? Did you have I'm just curious, did you have a date right away? What was?
No, he was actually, he was very respectful. And he said, "Well, I don't want to ask you for your phone number because I might be crazy and you might be crazy." I said, "Okay."
Right.
And he said, "But I'm in a show." He's an actor as well. "I'm in a show on Broadway called The Full Monty. And if you ever want to come get a cup of coffee after the show, come to the show, and then we'll just go out after that." And at that point, I was very cool. I said, "Yeah, maybe." And then the next day, I bought a front row ticket by myself, like this. And
now, The Full Monty, that's the show where they take their clothes off.
Right, and I actually didn't know that. I was in the front row, and he turned out to be one of the leads. And at the end of the show, they take their clothes off, and all the lights come up. That's when I knew I was going to marry him.
Very nice. You're a check. That would not have worked for me. My wife would have said, "I'm out of here." No one has that many freckles. There are freckles where there shouldn't be freckles. Let's get on another track here. Now, of course, you're on this hit show now. Everyone loves Ugly Betty. Before you did that show, you did commercials.
I did, yes.
What kind of commercials were you in?
Many, and they were quite varied. But one of my finer pieces of work was an Olive Garden commercial.
You did an Olive Garden commercial?
I did. I was the hostess at the Olive Garden, where a woman comes into the Olive Garden, and I was very excited to say, "Welcome to the Olive Garden. Can I help you?" And I was very happy. I was the happiest Olive Garden hostess ever.
And that's saying something, because everyone in those Olive Garden commercials is so excited to be at the Olive Garden.
Psyched.
Yeah.
So I was the most psyched Olive Garden hostess ever. And so I did that maybe a year before Ugly Betty, and it ran on TV and then went away. And a year later, I got this show. Ugly Betty is my big break. It's my first TV show. It's incredible. I've been so fortunate. And we started on Ugly Betty. Things were going well. And about 6 months into the first season, my mother called me, and she said, "It's back." And I said, "What's back?" And she said, "The Olive Garden commercial."
Oh, no. So now you're famous as this other person, and this commercial from the past is back. It's on TV.
Right, but we decided together that nobody was going to figure out it was me. Because in the Olive Garden commercial, in typical Olive Garden hostess attire, I was wearing a tie and a cummerbund and a badge, and my hair was pulled back. And I said, "Nobody is going to recognize me from this commercial. It's fine." The next day I got on set, and I heard someone say, "Hey, breadsticks."
Oh, no.
And for the next 6 months, I was called breadsticks. People made a lot of jokes about the never-ending pasta bowl. So,
no one should ever joke about the never-ending pasta bowl. That's sacred to me.
And they ended up writing it into the show. My character did a commercial back in the day for medieval times and was a hostess. So Ugly Betty ended up writing it into the show.
Oh, those bastards.
Right, it was that funny. Of course, so I went from no one's going to figure it out to it's now part of the show. And
I'm curious, you also did a one-woman show, is that right, for a while?
When I first got to New York...
that takes a lot of guts, to just put yourself out on stage alone and...
Yeah, I just didn't really know any better. I invited everyone I knew to this little theater in the West Village called the Duplex, and I'd get up on stage and tell lots of stories. But I have a secret to how to get an audience to like you.
What's that?
Serve them alcohol and Krispy Kreme donuts. I got standing ovations every single night. It doesn't even matter what I talked about.
I'm surprised they could stand afterwards. Wait, you gave the audience alcohol and Krispy Kreme donuts?
I didn't give it to them. The company did.
Yes, of course. So they're sort of drunk. I mean, everyone knows about that, but Krispy Kreme, that would give them a sugar high.
Yeah, and they loved their donuts so much that no matter what I said on stage, they were really, really
We're going to do that from now on. We're going to give them,
great,
we're going to just drop
great.
donuts. You're all going to get, well, not you. You're applauding, but that policy starts Monday. You'll get our usual Ritz cracker and a shoe. Well, as if I needed to mention it, but Ugly Betty, of course, airs Thursday nights at 8 on ABC, and you're fantastic on the show. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, please come back. Great having you on the show. Becki Newton, everybody. We'll be right back. Tokyo Hotel is here. Stick around.